Now, hi lads. Um, how's things? So let's see. I've got everything up and ready. Now, right. How's everybody in the chat anyway? It's gonna get my comments up. There we go. Can everybody hear me? Please, everybody can hear me. Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Bottas. Um, right. Welcome to match number Sean. Today I'm going to talk about the preview for Everton. Everton against Leeds. I'm going to talk about some of the memories at the start. I'm going to talk about some of the memories that I have from playing, from watching Leeds and Everton down the years. I want some of your memories as well in the chat. Um, the first one I come across is Rafinha's first goal for us, which is brilliant. The little cut inside and buried it in the bottom corner. Absolute super goal. I also remember the closest I actually ever had to not supporting Leeds ever again was Steve Watson scoring scoring three goals against us, and teaching us playing striker, and putting us to shame that I think it was 2003, 2004 season. Still gives me nightmares. Then the other memory I have is Everton when we drew 4-4 against them. Back in the good old days, and have it here in the 99-2000 season. We scored. It was 4-4. Woodgate scored and everything. Uh, brilliant game. I think it was one of Kevin Campbell's. I think we were on a 10 game run at the time, and they completely stopped us in our foot. You know what I mean? They were brilliant that day. It was a great game. Um, I want to talk a bit about Gary Speed, who played for both teams. What I'm going to try to do is on the preview for the matches, I'm going to try to talk a little bit about a player that played for both teams. So, Gary Speed, I want to talk about today. He was kind of a bit of a hero growing up for me. Obviously, Gary Kelly as well. Um, but yeah, one of my heroes. Uh, Obviously, suffered his mental health, and which is quite sad. But was always a good player. And played well for both teams. Very well liked by both teams, and I hope they kind of acknowledge that to Monday night, because it'd be great to acknowledge them. You know what I mean? Going to talk a little bit about the press conference a little bit, and, uh, from from Friday. You're saying that Fark was saying that Bogle is back in training, but really be fit, really not be fit. I can't see him throwing him back in because Fark doesn't usually do that. He tends to keep people for a few weeks. R.I.P. West Ham. Yeah, I seen that earlier on. Jesus. Um, I think when looks of some of the results today and yesterday, I think he might actually do alright this season. Um, Bajol is going to be suspended. Um, because of a stupid rule. I don't know if there's even a rule on it that got sent off in his last game for Italy in Italy. So he's banned for some reason. Um, which is very unusual. Never heard of it like that. Um, that won't last, Danny. Sunderland top of the league. Well, that won't last. Fuck's sake. um, and I feel that Harrison's going to be left wing back. I think for I think he's going to be backup left wing back for the season. Um, which I don't think is going to go down very well with a lot of people. But from the sounds of it, Frank wants to keep him there. Wants to keep him at the club. Um, from what he said at Aviva last week, he said that he's got the fans on side, he's got the staff on side, and the players are on side with him. But biggest one is the fans, you know what I mean? And after the abuse he got at Aviva last week, I it'll take a lot of doing. It'll take a lot of doing to get him back on side with the fans. Um, but he'll score. We can score a couple of goals, and then fans are a fickle bunch. They'll forget all about it. You know what I mean? Like 50 minutes into the season last year, and a lot of people forgiving Everton. We'll see. Um, not a chance, Mike. Not bringing in flipping Hamer. Not a chance. Not a chance. We get into that now in a minute. uh, let's have a look. Oh yes, we starting 11. For for Monday night, I think it'll be Perry in goal. It's a toss up, I think, between um, Perry and Darlow. I can see maybe Frank putting Darlow in, but I'd be fair if you had Perry in goal for me. Um, Left back, pretty obvious Goodmanson, because I can't see him starting Harrison. He's not as good as Goodmanson, I don't think. Right back, Sam Byram, because I don't think Bogle is going to be fit. I don't. He's going to. Fark tends to, as I said, Fark tends to let people have a few games to get himself fit after being out injured. Uh, then I'd centre back Pascal Strouk and the road sweeper Rodon. Because I think if Bajo was fit or not suspended, I think he'd be the one starting. I think with Rodon, because I can see Rodon and Bajo being a great, tough, hard, strong partnership to battle with. I think they cause a lot of trouble for strikers that just kick and hassle people. And where Strouk hasn't got that in him, he's more of a Rolls Royce type of player. Where he'll get on the ball and he'll push out of midfield a bit more. Centre midfield, Stroke and Ampadu, and then Tanaka as well. Obviously, have to have Tanaka in there. Make him captain the whole lot. But yeah, I can see Stroke and Ampadu playing centre midfield, and then having Tanaka kind of in attack playing a bit more advanced. And then in on the counter attack, the defense. Then when we're defending teams, he can sit back a bit more and make it a midfield three, nice and compact. Um, on the right, on right wing, I can see him being picking Willie Nanto, and on the left, Daniel James, because I think we'll need his pace. Shut up, Mike. He's not fucking rubbish, you prick. Sorry. um, and then I'd say Pro be up front, because I can't see Calvin Lewis playing straight away, because I because he hasn't played enough in pre-season. He's only been with the team this week, not even a week. And again, Fark likes to bet plays in, which is it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not the worst thing in the world. Um, I can see Cavaliers then when he gets himself in, can see him troubling or making a bit of competition for Nemec and Perot. But I do think Perot. I think the thing about the three strikers that we have is that to treat them are quite good off the bench as well, so they can kind of rotate and mess and throughout the game or whatever, and consider what games they are. We can You can change the formation. Then the bench, I think it'll be Darlow, Harrison, Bogle, Longstaff, Gruev, Ramazani, Nemec, Calvert-Lewin, and Isaac Smith. Um, that'll be going to be starting 11 at the bench. I got to give you thoughts on Calvert-Lewin a little bit. I think it'll be a good signing. I think it's a very good signing. Does need to keep himself fit, and I think I the one thing I'd say about Fark is he's very and the fitness team is they're very good at um, keeping players fit. They've been very good at keeping players fit. Whereas under Bielsa, he kind of ran us into the ground and kind of destroyed a lot of players. 'Cause there's not many players from that team that are still at that high level. Like Calvin Phillips was one. Um, Potatoes are lovely, by the way, Bosnas. Um, um, I was going to say there. Yes, I think Calvin Dillon will then come into the team, and then when he gets into the team, he'll uh, he'll push he'll push the other three, and I think he's also very good. I think Calvin Dillon will be very good role model for Harry Gray and a couple of the younger lads. Um, all right, matey. Um, Danny, the Irish national team is absolute cack at the moment. By the way, well, we don't want to talk about too much about that because there's a Leeds podcast, not not and no Irish national team talk. Let's see, get some of your comments up. Let's have a look. Thanks, Danny, for putting the links in the comments. All right, Mike. All right, Robbo. All right, Bosnas. Yeah, Bosnas. It's a shame about Speedo. Um, Absolute shame. Would love to see him be the manager to get us back to the Premier League. It would have been absolutely fantastic. I think he's definitely would have been a future Leeds manager down the line at some point. He's done a great job at Wales. He's done a great job at Wales. Um, yeah, it's an absolute shame. Sunderland top of the league, not for much longer, I don't think, because we're gonna win 3-0 against Everton, I think. Oh, did he, Danny? Yes. So he's thinking we might get James Justin in. Oh God, right. Might need to go back to the drawing board on it. Boss, that's just watch Lock the channel. Yeah, but and Robbo. Hamer is a good footballer, but I just don't think he's a fact type of player. I don't think he's a fact type of player because I don't think he doesn't do the work. I don't think that his work rate is not the greatest. Um, he doesn't get up and back. He doesn't do all the hard defensive work, in my opinion. Um, yes, he can show moments of brilliance, but any footballer can. Look at Bamford last year. Bamford last year scoring that volley. It's like any of the professional players can play well, can can strike a good ball if they're um, if attacking type player. Of course they can, but I just don't think he's a frag type player. His work rate is not the greatest. I don't think. But yeah, skill levels is quite good. Um, Danny. Um, let's have a look. Perry Perry. Bro. Yeah, could be. Was that the worst? No, it wouldn't be that. Like, think about the team. They kind of don't know who's going to be playing. You know, who's going to be playing because there's quite a lot competition in all areas, really. So yeah, like that is rubbish. That's not getting shown. Um, Robbo, their team, Perry, Gabby. Yeah, could be. Yeah, a days on potatoes. And you came to the right place for potato talk. Because I am Irish. Potatoes can go with everything. It's 3 meals a day. You can have potatoes with 3 meals a day. It's part of the Irish diet. um, all right, mate. Love you, mate. Uh, Thanks for being here. Uh, I know, I know, I was absolutely but the way it is. I booked in January to go away, and I was talking to Danny from my Leeds Bros and Bray, and we were at the match in Bray, and he said there was some talks of the match happening. And I was like, please, of all weeks, please not be it that week. Please not be it that week. And yeah, I did say to my girlfriend, do you mind if I go back and up and back in the one day? And she kind of told me, fuck off. So that didn't go down very well. um, all right, Darren. Uh, my Leeds Bros, the main man. Um, there's Robbo in the chat. Yeah, I think so, Danny. He loves his, he loves his drink, I'd say. And as for that, yeah, and Mason didn't really take up trees, did he? You know what I mean? He did well for a couple of years, but he never really fulfilled his potential, I don't think. Not a chance. No way is Aaronson going to be a starter in the team. Um, He'd be back up if need be. People got on about we need another 10. All the rest, blah, blah, blah. We need a 10, blah, blah, blah. We did not need a number 10. It was not talked about by anybody at the club that we need a 10. So I don't know why some of the fan base is going on saying they want a 10. I think it's beyond me. Silly, silly talk. It really bugs me. um, Let's have a look. Phone's knackered. Right, Robbo. Ah, Callum, how are you, Callum? How's things? Nice to see you in the chat. Uh, have you got any memories of that you got to bring up in the chat about playing Everton, or any players you can think of uh, that play for both teams that we can discuss and talk about? Uh, they're saying we get a 10 because they think he's going to change formation. But he's not going to change formation in some games. I think he won't go with a 10, I don't think. Um, like, I just can't see it happening. Like, I think even if he wants to play a number 10, I can see him trying to shoehorn Perot in as the number 10, and maybe a Nebic or Calvin Lewin. But I can't see him going in and buying another 10. I think he'll go for a winger, a fullback, and I think he might go for a striker that can play out wide. That can also is also comfortable, a winger that's comfortable playing outside or playing as a striker, or vice versa. Um, just so to have that extra body. Let's have a look. Nanto on the right, Rama on the left. And right back watching at home. Yeah. I don't think I even have him on the bench. I don't think I have double check. I don't think I even have him on the bench. No, don't have him even on the bench. Um, which is which is how good he is. As far away from the team as possible. Um, just the next. Well, then he's after saying that he's after getting injured, but I don't know for definite. Um, if he's injured, I can't see him be the next one. Um, have a look. Oh yeah, Beckford. Yeah, Beckford played for both, obviously. Um, yeah, scored a great goal at the shithole. Um, I've actually got one of Matty's shirts that he's selling. I've got that goal at the back of the shirt. I actually bought that, um, which is a nice fit. I try to wear that when playing the scum. Um, but yeah, he was. I met him there in Bray. He was lovely. He went over to absolutely everybody in Bray. Absolutely everybody. Walked around all four corners of the pitch and chatted to everybody. Chatted to absolutely everybody. Such a lovely guy. Absolutely lovely man. Was never great taking penalties. Um, great goal scorer, obviously. What shirt we're wearing, bruv. All that stuff. Um, but he tended to miss the penalties. Um, which is which is obviously a wee part of his game. He scored a great goal, 4 Everton goals this season against Everton. For Everton, didn't he? When he went to them, then he scored a great goal uh, for Everton. Uh, but they're gonna say that, Danny. It's like Wayman said that, and he's right. Bogle was kind of said, "Oh, he's gonna be he's crap. He's this, he's that, and whatever," and he ended up being good. I think you're gonna feel like that. You're not gonna say, "Oh, he's shy. He's this. He's that. He's not good enough." And when he's leaving the club, um, I think You're obviously gonna say that. You're gonna be bitter. You're gonna be like that. You know what I mean? You're gonna say he's not a great player when he's leaving your club. Um, but like he was captain of the club. I think captain of the club today. So it can't be that bad. Um, like we all said, um, Rob, some of these fans are like me. I'll be honest, bitter that Calvin Phillips left and all the rest. Oh, he's a crap player and this and that and not good enough. And but if we look back at it, he was a good player for Leeds. He's a good player for in the Bielsa system. And that Bielsa system is suiting him down to the ground. He's kind of in that pivot, and he's the man we look to a lot. And he's like the big fish in the small pond compared to Man City. It was gonna be that step. It was where that step up. In terms of quality, obviously they've got the money. They've got all the Arab money. So they can have all these top players. And I think he was just swallowed up. He was, but same with Reuter, Jorginho Reuter. Um, Great player for us. Gutted he went. Absolutely gutted he went because I was convinced he was going to stay. Um, so like it is what it is. Uh, gonna be 5 or 6 of the top 17 this season. Struggled down the bottom. Yeah, I think so. Actually, yeah. From what he's seen from us doing a bit of research and a few bits, well, a bit of prep for the live, for going live. And I was watching the matches in the background, flicking through a few of the matches, and not a lot of teams look. I'm not afraid. I wouldn't be afraid of any of the teams that I've seen so far. Maybe obviously Liverpool, but they even looked a bit shaky at the back. Um, like I actually don't think it's as difficult as it was the first time around. I think because City, because I think there was a lot of. I think the quality of the teams were better then. Um, and I also think there's so many teams in Europe this season. I think a lot of teams are going to be struggling to keep their players fit for uh, for an extended length of time. Um, but yeah, so I just think I did say at the start of the season. I think we finished about 12th. I think maybe 14th. Between 12th and 14th, I wouldn't be too upset if we finished 14th. Yeah, like I just have that feeling we could finish 12th and we'll do all right. Um, some people say the top half. On the Fark, I can't see it being top half. I think Fark will keep us up, and but there will be a point where I think for the first 2 seasons, I think we might end up keeping Fark. Um, because he's a safe pair. It'd be a safe pair of hands, and he's not going to do anything too rash and too crazy. Um, but I think we'll know after the first 10 games what Fark is going to be like. We'll know, in my opinion, because we've got a few teams that we should be beating it in the first 10 games. Um, so yes, but it'd be interesting to see how they get on. I think after the first 10 games, I think that is the first break for internationals. I think that might be the time where the guys might look at it and see how he's getting on. Um, Sorry, it's gonna be a roller coaster of a season. That's all. Yeah, well, yeah, it's gonna be a. It could be a long slog, but we'll pick up points. We'll have the odd big result and fluke result, or whatever you want to call it. Like we fluked the result against Liverpool and fluked the result against Bournemouth, which ended up keeping Jesse Marsh's job, which was a blessing and a curse in disguise. If I could go back and knew what was going to happen, I'd rather have got beaten by Liverpool and got beaten by Bournemouth and got a new manager in. Um, but it is what it is. Yeah, like it wouldn't be too annoyed if we finished 17th. It wouldn't be. As long as you stay up, I don't really care. Um, but I'll just give my opinion on where I think it will finish. And I think finish 12th. Yeah, they were, Robbo. Um, yeah, so like I think it's going to be a smooth road. We're going to have our issues. We're going to have our losses, our wins. Um, I could see us getting a draw against the Arsenal, though. I could see us getting 4 points from the first two games. I didn't say. I think Everton versus Leeds. I think we'll beat Everton 2-1. I think we'll beat them 2-1. Um, I think we'll get a goal from Perot, and I think Harrison's going to come on with about 10 minutes to go. Come on, I left him back and come on and score. And if he does, I want him to cup the ears and give a bit of that back. Because I think it'll show a bit of balls. I respect that in a way. Just give a bit back, you know what I mean? A bit and hope let's move on from it. And he's not here anyway, so might as well move on. Um, yeah, me too. Um, I wouldn't mind Sunderland staying up. We've got a bit of a soft spot for them. I don't think they're a big club. Always um, have been a big club, and the more big clubs in the Premier League, the better. Um, may not be as big as Newcastle, but they're definitely bigger than Borough. And the talk of Middlesbrough, one of the lads in the mention not being Leeds WhatsApp group. I think it was. I'll check now. Da-da-da. Yes, it was Priestley. Priestley had said that Luke Ayling was playing on the wing, was playing right wing or left wing for Borough, which I think is bananas. They must really be in trouble then if to have Luke Ayling as a winger. Jeez, he was terrible at tracking back that last season for Leeds. Couldn't get caught in the break. So that was crazy. Um, thanks, Mike. Thanks, Robbo. Thanks for that, Danny. Um, thanks, Robbo. Thanks, Robbo. We mean that. We really mean it. Um, thanks for all the advice and whatever I've been getting from some of the lads in the WhatsApp group and some of the lads that I like the likes of Darren from my Leeds Bros have been and Matty and Robbo and some of the other lads in the WhatsApp group from Imagine That Being Leeds. Yeah, he'd been really helpful. Um, yeah, I remember the help you've given me over the last couple of months trying to get myself up to 50 subscribers so I can start doing lives, which I think I'd feel more comfortable doing than doing videos. I think I'm better. I feel like I'd be doing a bit better off the cuff rather than trying to do videos and all that stuff. Um, I still do the odd video. Um, Stack, yes, I did say in my last video that I think he'd be the sign of the season. I think he'd be the sign of the season. Um, Fantastic player. By far, I think he's by far the best player we have. Absolutely fantastic. Like, give that. I think he's the future captain of the club. Um, Definitely going to be future captain of the club at some point. Um, yes, I can nearly build a team around him if he stays. It's like a Rafinha, like like a Rutter when we had him, like a Calvin Phillips when we had him. You can build that team around him. He's good enough that you can build that team around him. Um, yeah, like he's a fantastic player, absolutely fantastic. Um, yeah, and I think 8 goals would be a good return. Um, yeah, I think 8 goals would be a great return. I know he said Pro will score 15 goals. I think with Cavanaugh's coming in, I think it might drop to maybe if you can get 10 to 12 goals, you can get to double figures. Pro will do it'll be a good season for Pro. And the same, if we can get the three players that the three strikers that we got in to score double figures, I think I think we'll do. I think we won't be fair off it. You won't be fair off where we need to be. You can get all three then we'll have because we'll have goals from out wide. The likes of James knows what the goal is. Ramazani knows how to score a goal if Fark wants to play him, which I'm with Matty. I'm absolutely with Matty on it. Ramazani's Ramazani's a better player than 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 Fark thinks. He's a fantastic player. Can run at people. He's exciting to play to watch. Maybe off the bench, show him on with 15, 20 minutes to go. We need to get a goal. Like his goal, like his ratio from goals to minutes was quite high. It was quite high if you look at his stats, quite high. I think he's done very well. Like even against Bristol, came on only had a couple of touches and scored 2 goals. Absolutely fantastic play. Um, did they? Jesus Christ! Was Bill involved? Or did he do anything there? They didn't. This is after the match. Priestley said that, put that in the chat. So I didn't actually get time to check it up, actually check how he actually got on there. But fucking hell, like, oh, bring him back. We're looking for a winger. Bring back Bill. Uh, yeah, yeah, could be. I get, but usually goalkeepers don't really get the play of the year or something like that. Like, they don't really usually get play of the year or best sign of the season or whatever. They don't really. They can sometimes go missing. They don't get the credit. But yeah, I love Perry. I think I absolutely love him. I would love to see him do that punch out that he does, that volleyball like punch that he does at Ellen Road, right up to the main to Pro. So that little flick on James behind the back gone. Get his little motor, yeah, get his little motor legs going. uh, yeah, nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that at all. I'll have a little fat out Mancini ready. Uh, Did he? Yeah, okay. Uh, you can have a bad game, you know what I mean? Sometimes the defence can destroy you. Like, I don't think the year we got relegated, a lot of it wasn't Meslier's fault. It was the defence's fault, you know what I mean? And I just think uh, it just knocked his confidence, sadly. That was the sad thing about Meslier. I think he could have been a great keeper, but his confidence was destroyed that season we got relegated. I think he got too much in his head. Um, that was two bad things to us. Yeah, but like that's the way back is. I think he'll do good. I think he'll become a good keeper. I really do. He's got a bit more presence about him than Meslier. I think even a granny in a wheelchair would have more presence than fucking Meslier does. Um, yeah, so do I. I hope he absolutely shoves it down Fac's throat. I fucking hope so. I really, really do, because I really rate Ramazani. Really, really, really do. Um, I've said it before. He's got that bit of quality where he can go at players. And I think the Premier League might suit him a bit more than the Championship because I don't think he'll get kicked and booted as much. It seems to be a bit more. There seems to be less tough, hard tackles being thrown in um, than in the Championship where it's just full throttle. Um, all right, Russ. How are you, man? Um, yeah, things are going well already. I haven't been demonetized yet, anyway. Jesus Christ, Danny. Can imagine. Well, we did put Rafina on throw-ins on the marsh, so you never know. You never know what'll happen. Uh, yeah. Da-da. Yeah, jeez. Remember, just thinking back to Rafina on throw-ins. My God, gives me PTSD. That does. Jesus, so bad, so fucking bad. I just think, yeah, if he was an outfield player, I'd be a bit more concerned. But yeah, I'd be a bit more concerned if it was if he was an outfield player. Keepers can get away with a bit more, I think. Um, and he seems to be fit from what he's saying. In Aviva, he seems to be fit. Um, I just think Fark wanted to give Darlow 45 minutes just to keep him fresh, just to keep the team fresh, keep the team moving, not overdo it. Works on the keep them kind of still fit. That we're not overdoing players. He tends to do that anyway. He tends to be very good at managing uh, players' fitness. This is what I think it's his best ability. I think, and not Park's greatest lover, but we had to give him his credit. He's kept the likes of Solomon fit when he was here. Byron we kept fit. Bamford when he got him fit, he kept him fit. But Bamford's just not as good of a footballer as he was. Um, but that's that's my opinion on it anyway. Um, and he tends not to throw people back in straight away when they've been injured. He tends to slowly breathe them in, slowly, and then starts playing them properly. Like look at Ampadu. He tried to risk it with Ampadu. Tried to find something different. Um, with Ampadu broke down pretty much straight away. Um, so look. Good to hear, Russ. Good to hear. Nice to see you in the chat anyway. Um, yeah, still thinking of that bloody lounge rouse and all that stuff. Disgraceful. Um, but I did kind of back Perry for a little. I did kind of back Marsh, but Jesus Christ, it went back. It went in hindsight. We should never have appointed him. I think Keith Andrews going in at Bournemouth is just as bad. Like I know a bit more about Keith Andrews than some others. Um, from being Irish, and he was involved a bit in the Irish setup, and it's just absolutely terrible. Hasn't got a clue. I was watching some of the videos of mic'd up, doing the training. My God, talks absolute fucking bollocks. There's no way. I think they're in big trouble. They're in big trouble if they're putting their uh, trust in Keith Andrews. Like, I'd rather fucking Julian Andrews. I think Julian Andrews would do a fucking better job. Absolute disaster. Um, I'm hoping Perry's going to be a top sign. Wanting to be a top sign, just concerned so far. Well, yeah, like you're allowed to be concerned. We've all got concerns, but like I'm concerned a little bit about James's fit. Hasn't had a great preseason, but I know it'll come good. It'll come good, and he'll be fine. He'll be absolutely fine. Uh, like he even a half of Perry would be would still be a lot better than flipping Meslier, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? So, and Darlow's not a bad second option either. Darlow's not the worst option. He's a Welsh international. He's played plenty of games for Wales. I know it's only Wales, but he's used to playing against top top players. You know what I mean? Um, same with Kelleher. I wouldn't have minded Kelleher coming in because yes, he's hasn't got the experience yet, but he's still played against top teams for Ireland, and he's been used to having a lot of shots at him, and and being in a team that's not as good as the teams they're playing. Um, but I probably wouldn't have paid the amount that Brentford paid for him. Was it? Um, I wouldn't have paid that much money. Yes, I said, Jesus Christ! Imagine the reaction from the fans if that happened. It'd be a disaster. Um, oh, but I know he does talk a lot of shite. From what I, from what I've heard from him since he's left Leeds and stuff like that, and I've seen little bits here and there of him and whatever. He talks an awful lot of shite. He talks an enormous amount of shite. Um, the way he's talked about it was kind of his fault as well. That book, Leeds on Trial, was absolutely catastrophic. Absolutely destroyed the club, destroyed the dressing room. There, he completely lost the dressing room with that. Then having this bit in the paper, the Telegraph or whatever it was, and he goes and calls out Danny Mills, who was his right back for the club, called him out saying, "Oh, he's not a great right back and whatever, and shouldn't have been picked for England or something, wasn't it?" Like he's a bit full of his own shit. You know what I mean? He's full of his own shit. Like cannot stand him. Cannot stand him. And he basically took what Will Go put in place and what George Graham put in place as well. Um, with us being defensively solid. He got defensively solid. George Graham did. I know it wasn't great football, but he got defensively solid. Then O'Leary comes in and just takes all that, and then gets things handed to him. He got a lot of things handed to him there. Um, And as for Ridsdale, he should never give him that amount of money. But I think if he'd lasted another year or two, I think it would have been fine. I don't think it would have been in the position we were in. Because think about it, the likes of Abramovich and stuff came in the season after we got relegated. So I don't. So all the big money started rolling in, slowly. So football was kind of changing where money was getting thrown at it a bit more. Um, so I think if we just could have hung on for a couple of years, it would have been okay. And I think Venables wouldn't have been that bad of him when he came in. He just got the rug pulled out from underneath him, you know what I mean? By Ridsdale. But like he wanted to keep a lot of the players, and we started the season off all right under Venables. But it's just by the end of the transfer window, the team was sold. Like, um, yeah, Keith Andrews, Keith Andrews. Yeah, I've seen a bit of it. Yeah, I've seen bits of it last night. Jesus Christ, wouldn't want him in your fantasy football team. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible last night. Yeah, yeah, he was supposed to be the big player at the time, wasn't he? He was supposed to be the big up and coming player. Supposed to be the next great midfielder and all the rest, and then got himself injured. Never really recovered. Um, I think I'm going to leave it there unless someone else top of that else, lads. So I think that's pretty much all the chat. Yeah, it was a lot of money back then. But if you think about it, a couple of years after, then players were going for 12, 15 minutes, like, um, or 12, 15 mil. So, like, we went far away. We went far away from surviving that. I'd be convinced of that. We just need to hang on and hang on and hang on and hang on. Like, I think he should never have got nearly sacked, I don't think, either. Because I think he would have got us there. I think he would have kept us afloat. Um, thanks, Danny. Thanks, Danny. I've said it already, Russ. I think it's going to be 2-1. I think Everton will score first, and I think we'll come back and win 2-1. Um, I think it's going to be Perot to equalise, and then Harrison's going to score from left wing back. Couples airs to the cop. Give it a bit of give it large, and we can all sort of forgive and forget. You know what I mean? Bit of banter. I'd love to give a bit of banter back to the crowd. You know what I mean? But I think I'd appreciate that. I think it'd be a bit having the balls to do that. Um, that's what I want to happen, but we'll see. Like I can't see him doing all that stuff, but it would be pretty funny. Um, yeah, probably. Yeah, probably would be. Yeah, because he was a good player at the time. He was a good player at the time before he got injured. Yeah, it wouldn't be mad to get a draw there, but we need to. I'd love us to get the win to get us up and running. Maybe. Um, yeah, yeah, it'd be pretty good, wouldn't it? It'd really stick it up. I think if I'd love if Cavalier Lewin scores and starts celebrating in front of Moyes. I think it'd be pretty funny. I think it'd be pretty funny. Um, in fact, if Harrison scores, I want him to cup his ears to Moyes. I think that would make me be on his side. I think I'm gonna leave the live now. Unless there's anything else you want to talk about. The links are in the chat. Matty put a few links in the chat there. For Matty's channel. Imagine that being Leeds. Darren's channel. Um, Only Leeds Bros. Full Time to Talk. Callum's channel. Passion for Leeds. Boss Nass's channel. He's got about 20 million channels at this stage, Boss Nass. I'll tell you now his latest one. Ah, yes, Boss Nass does it. Is Boss Nass's channel that he put up on a couple of days ago. So it's more of a Leeds based channel because he was doing a lot of the non-league stuff. I just thought it was pretty cool. So yeah, give him a like and subscribe as well because he's had to when he started off and scratch with it, I think. So get a few likes and subscribes for Bossness. Have a look. Real hat trick and lays it forward off for ACL the last 5 minutes. Imagine the scenes. Imagine the scenes. I've been waffling for nearly an hour, so I've run out of shit to talk about. So thanks for everybody that's been in the live. I might try to do one for after the match. I might try to go live after the match on Monday night. Kind of a reaction kind of thing. Trying to take on the Wayman, the great big Wayman. But yeah, I've enjoyed the first live. It wasn't as bad as how it's gonna be. It was great chatting to you all. Especially yes, even you, Danny. um, thanks, Robbo. Thanks, Robbo. It means a lot. I'm going to try to get a few people on once I get myself comfortable. Doing lives. I want to try to get a few people on. And like of Callum, I want to try to get on as well because me and Callum kind of are different, come from different angles. I love his reactions when I say these wild things. I love his reactions because he just rolls his eyes and go, "Oh my god, he's off again," and I just love it. Try to get a few the likes of Danny. I might try to get on. Danny Talk Sports. I try to get on because me and him will just cause absolute carnage with our wild takes. We'd cause absolute carnage. I want to try to get Matty on the odd time. Darren, get a few of the get a few lads on, but I'd rather get myself nice and comfortable with the lives. So maybe after the international break, around the international break, I might try to do it. Try to do a live. Theatre. I don't think he'd come on here. I don't think. I don't think he'd come on here. He'd be back in my territory. I know. We do have our clashes, me and Wayman. We do have our clashes, but uh, yeah, we do have our clashes and all. But it's all good, you know what I mean. He annoys me, and I annoy him. We kind of bounce off each other in that way. Um, yes, having a fantasy football team, brilliant, brilliant. Having a fantasy football team. So I hope he gets a hat trick today. Um, before the next live, I'm gonna try to get the link for the fantasy football league from the Imagine Not Being Leeds WhatsApp group. We've kind of set up Imagine Not Being Leeds kind of fantasy football league team thing. So before the next live, I'll get the link to it, and I can put it into the chat, and we'll get a few of you guys in the Fantasy Football League, have a bit of crack with it. But yeah, so thanks for everybody that's been in the live, that's been in the comments and helped me get through it. And thanks again.